Help me! Help me! My heart pounded as I screamed for help, the terror gripping me like a vice. My brother, his face contorted with an unfamiliar madness, had locked me in my room. Panic surged through me as I pounded on the door, my voice hoarse from shouting for our parents. But there was no response, just the echo of my own desperate cries bouncing off the walls. Every second felt like an eternity as I searched for a way out, my mind racing with fear and confusion. How could my brother, my own flesh and blood, do this to me? What had possessed him to act so violently? I could feel the walls closing in around me, the air thick with dread. I knew I had to find a way to escape before it was too late. But as I frantically searched for a means of freedom, a chilling thought crept into my mind: what if I wasn't alone in the house? My heart leaped into my throat as my brother, his features obscured by a twisted mask, crashed through the window, shards of glass scattering across the floor. His eyes blazed with a manic fervor, and he screamed at the top of his lungs about monsters coming to get me. I stumbled back in horror, my breath coming in ragged gasps as I tried to make sense of the nightmare unfolding before me. Was this some sick joke? Or had my brother truly lost his mind? Fear clenched at my chest as I realized there was no time to ponder the answers. With my brother blocking the only exit, I was trapped with a stranger wearing the face of someone I thought I knew. Pain exploded through my body as my brother's hands closed around me, his grip like iron as he hurled me against the wall with terrifying force. The impact knocked the breath from my lungs, leaving me gasping for air as I crumpled to the ground. Before I could even register what had happened, he grabbed me again, his fingers digging into my flesh as he threw me against the opposite wall. My young body sailed through the air, the world spinning around me as I collided with the unforgiving surface. Tears stung my eyes as I struggled to push myself up, every movement sending waves of agony rippling through me. My brother loomed over me, his mask twisted into a grotesque grin as he advanced, his hands reaching out to grab me once more. Each impact sent shockwaves of pain coursing through my body, blurring the line between consciousness and darkness. My brother's relentless assault seemed endless, a relentless barrage of violence that left me battered and broken. With each slam into the ground, I felt myself growing weaker, my limbs heavy and unresponsive. But still, he showed no mercy, his grip unyielding as he dragged me through the house, leaving a trail of blood in our wake. The world swirled around me in a haze of agony and confusion, my senses overwhelmed by the relentless assault on my body. I struggled to stay conscious. As consciousness ebbed and flowed, I found myself bound and helpless, the rough texture of rope digging into my skin as I lay in the confined darkness of the trunk. The muffled sounds of the world outside filtered through the metal casing, a stark reminder of the nightmare from which I couldn't escape. Fear gnawed at my insides as I struggled against my restraints, the knots tight and unforgiving. Panic threatened to consume me as I realized the full extent of my predicament. I was at the mercy of my own brother, a madman driven by unknown demons. With each bump and jolt of the car, my heart pounded in my chest, a constant drumbeat of terror echoing in my ears. Where was he taking me? What did he plan to do? With each reckless turn and sudden acceleration, my body was thrown violently against the walls of the trunk, the impact sending waves of pain radiating through every inch of my being. Bruises blossomed on my skin, matching the rhythm of the car's erratic movements as my brother drove with a terrifying lack of regard for anything or anyone around him. In the suffocating darkness of the trunk, I struggled to remain conscious, each collision threatening to plunge me into unconsciousness. As the car came to a sudden halt, the impact reverberated through the trunk, jolting me from the haze of pain and disorientation that clouded my mind. With each agonizing movement, my brother dragged me from the trunk, my limbs limp and unresponsive, like dead weight in his grasp. I was barely conscious, my body battered and broken, every breath a struggle as I fought against the overwhelming tide of pain that threatened to engulf me. But even in my weakened state, a spark of awareness flickered within me, a primal instinct urging me to stay alert, to remain vigilant in the face of imminent danger. As he dragged me across the rough concrete floor of the building, I could feel the cold hardness beneath me, each scrape and bump sending fresh waves of agony rippling through my already battered form. And as my brother forced my head into the cold, unforgiving embrace of the metal contraption, a sense of dread washed over me, chilling me to the core. With a sickening finality, the mechanism slammed shut, sealing my fate in an instant. A wave of despair crashed over me as I realized the truth. I was trapped, condemned to an eternity of darkness and solitude, my existence snuffed out in the blink of an eye. Panic surged within me, clawing at my chest as I fought against the suffocating confines of my prison, but it was futile. With each passing moment, the world around me faded into nothingness, swallowed by the void that now consumed me. I was lost, adrift in an endless sea of darkness, my screams silenced by the cold embrace of oblivion. In that final, agonizing moment, I knew that I would never escape. My brother's madness had claimed me, tearing me from the fabric of reality and consigning me to an eternity of torment. And as the darkness closed in around me, I could only pray for release, for the sweet release of death to finally set me free from this endless nightmare. In the stillness of death, I found a strange sense of peace, a respite from the agony and torment that had plagued me in life. No longer bound by the constraints of the mortal world, I drifted through the void, my consciousness adrift in an endless expanse of nothingness. Memories of my former life flickered in and out of focus, fragments of a reality that now seemed impossibly distant. Faces blurred together, lost in the swirling mists of time, as I surrendered myself to the embrace of oblivion. But even in death, a sense of unease lingered, a nagging feeling that something was amiss. Was this truly the end, or was there still more to come? In the darkness that surrounded me, I searched for answers, but found only silence. And so, I drifted on, a lost soul adrift in the vast expanse of eternity, haunted by the echoes of a life cut short. Though my body may have perished, my spirit endured, forever bound to the realm between worlds, forever searching for a way to find peace in the darkness. Police report. Date: November 14, 1983. Incident: assault and possible homicide. Location: address. Reporting officer: officer name. Description of incident: on the evening of November 14, 1983, a distress call was received reporting a domestic disturbance at address. Officers were dispatched to the scene immediately. Upon arrival, officers found the residence in disarray, with signs of a violent struggle evident throughout the premises. Bloodstains were observed on the walls and floor, indicating a serious altercation had taken place. Further investigation revealed that a minor, age 16, had allegedly brutalized his younger brother, age 8. The extent of the younger brother's injuries was severe, suggesting a sustained and vicious assault. The suspect was not present at the scene upon the arrival of law enforcement. Efforts to locate and apprehend the suspect are ongoing. The victim's condition is currently unknown, and medical assistance has been requested to assess the extent of his injuries. The motive behind the attack remains unclear at this time, and additional details are pending further investigation. End of report. Update to police report. Date: November 15, 1983. Incident: assault and possible homicide. Location: address, Fredbear's Family Diner. Reporting officer, officer name. Additional details. Further investigation into the incident revealed that the victim, the younger brother aged 8, was forcibly dragged from the residence at address to Fredbear's Family Diner, located address. Eyewitnesses reported seeing the suspect, a minor aged 16, carrying the victim against his will. Upon arrival at Fredbear's Family Diner, the suspect is reported to have forcibly shoved the victim into the mouth of the Fredbear animatronic located on the premises. The animatronic, designed for entertainment purposes, is not intended to be used in such a manner. The victim's condition following this incident remains unknown. Emergency medical services have been notified and dispatched to the scene to assess and treat any injuries sustained by the victim. Law enforcement efforts are ongoing to locate and apprehend the suspect. The motive behind the attack, as well as the circumstances leading up to the incident, are under investigation. Updates will be provided as additional information becomes available. End of update. Update to police report. Date: November 16, 1983. Incident: assault and possible homicide. Location: address, Fredbear's Family Diner. Reporting officer, officer name. Additional details. In light of the ongoing investigation into the brutal assault and possible homicide at Fredbear's Family Diner, the owners, Henry Emily and William Afton, have cooperated fully with law enforcement. They have provided as many details as possible regarding the events leading up to the incident, as well as all evidence available on the premises. Following discussions with law enforcement, it has been decided that the Fredbear animatronic involved in the incident will be placed in an evidence locker pending further investigation. This decision was made to preserve any potential forensic evidence that may assist in determining the circumstances surrounding the assault. Law enforcement continues to work closely with the owners of Fredbear's Family Diner to gather additional information and evidence relevant to the case. Interviews with staff and patrons present at the time of the incident are ongoing, and any pertinent details will be documented and included in the investigation. Efforts to locate and apprehend the suspect, a minor aged 16, remain ongoing. The cooperation of the owners and staff of Fredbear's Family Diner is appreciated and will be instrumental in bringing this case to a resolution. Updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. End of update. Update to police report. Date: March 17, 1983. Incident: assault and possible homicide. Location: address, Fredbear's Family Diner. Reporting officer, officer name. Additional details. In a tragic turn of events, on March 17, the daughter of Henry Emily, one of the owners of Fredbear's Family Diner, was found deceased outside the establishment. The victim, a young girl aged 7, had sustained multiple stab wounds. Upon discovery, law enforcement and emergency services were immediately dispatched to the scene. Despite their efforts, the victim could not be revived. This devastating incident has led local authorities to make the difficult decision to permanently close down Fredbear's Family Diner. The repeated tragedies and violence associated with the establishment have raised significant concerns for public safety. The closure of Fredbear's Family Diner will be effective immediately, and measures will be taken to secure the premises and ensure public safety. The investigation into both incidents, the assault on November 14 and the subsequent homicide on March 17, remains ongoing. Law enforcement will continue to work diligently to bring those responsible to justice and provide closure to the victims and their families. Updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. End of update. Final report. Date. Incident, assault, homicide, and suspect identification. Location, address, Fredbear's Family Diner. Reporting officer, officer name. Additional details. Following extensive investigation and collaboration with local authorities, the suspect responsible for the brutal assault on November 14 and the subsequent homicide on March 17 has been positively identified as Michael Afton. Michael Afton, believed to be at large in the area, is the son of William Afton, one of the owners of Fredbear's Family Diner. According to statements provided by William Afton, Michael is implicated in both incidents and is considered a person of interest in the ongoing investigation. The identification of Michael Afton as the suspect has shed new light on the tragic events that have unfolded at Fredbear's Family Diner. His alleged involvement in the deaths of his younger brother and the daughter of Henry Emily has sent shockwaves through the community, leaving many reeling with disbelief and grief. Law enforcement efforts to locate and apprehend Michael Afton are ongoing, with authorities urging the public to remain vigilant and report any sightings or information that may lead to his capture. In light of these developments and the repeated tragedies associated with the establishment, Fredbear's Family Diner will remain permanently closed, with measures in place to secure the premises and ensure public safety. The investigation into the assaults and homicides at Fredbear's Family Diner will continue unabated, with law enforcement dedicated to bringing those responsible to justice and providing closure to the victims and their families. End of report. 1984, New Freddy Fazbear Pizza opens. Town in static. In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through the community, a new Freddy Fazbear Pizza establishment has opened its doors, igniting a flurry of excitement and controversy in equal measure. Located at Address, the new Freddy Fazbear Pizza promises to deliver the same family-friendly entertainment and mouth-watering pizza that made its predecessor a beloved staple in the community. However, the opening of the new establishment comes amidst a backdrop of recent tragedies and violence associated with its predecessor, Fredbear's Family Diner. The town finds itself divided as news of the new restaurant spreads, with some eagerly anticipating the opportunity to relive cherished childhood memories and create new ones with their families. Others, however, express deep reservations, citing concerns over safety and the potential for history to repeat itself. The shadow cast by the previous establishment looms large over the grand opening of the new Freddy Fazbear Pizza, with many questioning whether the horrors of the past can truly be left behind. Memories of the brutal assault and subsequent homicides at Fredbear's Family Diner still haunt the community, serving as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface. As patrons flock to the new Freddy Fazbear Pizza in droves, drawn by the allure of animatronic entertainment and delicious cuisine, the town remains in a state of uncertainty. Will the new establishment herald a fresh start for the beloved franchise, or is it doomed to repeat the tragic mistakes of its predecessor? Only time will tell as the community braces itself for the next chapter in the tumultuous saga of Freddy Fazbear Pizza. Welcome to the Fazbear ADplex. Introducing the new animatronics at Freddy Fazbear Pizza. Amidst the excitement and anticipation surrounding the grand opening of the new Freddy Fazbear Pizza, patrons are thrilled to welcome a cast of new animatronic characters that promise to dazzle and entertain. Leading the pack is none other than Freddy Fazbear himself, the iconic bear beloved by children and adults alike for his cheerful demeanor and catchy tunes. With his trademark top hat and microphone in hand, Freddy takes center stage, ready to delight audiences with his musical performances. Joining Freddy on stage is Foxy the Pirate, a swashbuckling sensation known for his daring adventures on the high seas. With his eye patch and hook hand, Foxy brings a touch of excitement and adventure to the festivities, captivating audiences with his lively antics and playful spirit. Next up is Bonnie the Rockstar Bunny, a guitar-wielding sensation with a rock and roll edge. With his cool demeanor and electrifying stage presence, Bonnie rocks the house with his high-energy performances and infectious enthusiasm, leaving audiences cheering for more. Last but certainly not least is Chica the pizza-eating chicken, a culinary connoisseur with an insatiable appetite for fun. With her sunny disposition and love for all things pizza, Chica steals the show with her entertaining antics and deliciously delightful performances. As the new animatronics take the stage at Freddy Fazbear Pizza, patrons are treated to a spectacle of sight and sound unlike anything they've ever experienced. From catchy tunes to thrilling adventures, the new animatronics promise to captivate audiences of all ages and create cherished memories that will last a lifetime. So come on down to Freddy Fazbear Pizza and join in the fun as we welcome Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica to the stage. With exciting performances, delicious pizza, and endless entertainment, there's never been a better time to experience the magic of Freddy Fazbear Pizza. Don't miss out on the excitement. Reserve your table today and prepare to be amazed by the unforgettable adventures that await at Freddy Fazbear Pizza.